size business.
Hello. Hello and welcome to Snack Sized Business's 4th season. And I get to introduce you today to Meghann Conter. So let me give you the lowdown on Meghann's 5 facts. Really interesting. So Meghann is the CEO, she is the founder, and she is the chief laugh instigator of the Dames, which is a sort of networking group for women. She is fluent in French and loves everything French. I'm assuming that means baguettes too. When asked as a child what she'd like to be when she grew up, she would say a humpback whale. And if an adult argued with her that that wasn't possible, she'd say, fine, I want to be a marine biologist. But really, she wanted to be a whale exploring the open ocean. I totally get that. She is an Enneagram 7, Wing 8, an ENFP, and a splenic projector. We'll have to ask her what all of those mean exactly. And then you may also know her as Networking Nellie, Sylvia Maldonado. That's right, I said it wrong. Sylvia Maldonado or Margie Mack, some of Meghann's characters she uses to edutain her audience. All right. So there you go, 5 facts, maybe you knew, maybe you didn't, about Meghann Conter, the founder and CEO of the Dames. Let's welcome Meghann. Hello and welcome to Snack Size Business, Meghann Conter. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you.
I'm ecstatic to be here, LB.
All right, cool. Well, the audience already knows your 5 facts, but I did want to touch on 1 or 2 things. So the whole humpback whale thing, can we talk about that for a moment?
You bet. As a kid, I was obsessed with everything marine biology, especially whales. And I became especially attached to humpback whales. And I think I was very imaginative as a kid. And I think what I just really wanted to do was be the explorer of the ocean, where I didn't have to answer to anyone. I could just travel everywhere and I could be this big, omnipresent creature that filled the surroundings around me with beautiful sounds and took care of my pod and really was, part of a crew. So that's really what I loved as a kid. And I like to joke to say that, when people would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a humpback whale. And when they would say, you can't be a humpback whale. Well, fine, then I'll be a marine biologist and I'll study humpback whales, which was a little squashed when I was in high school and realized that I would have to go to somewhere else for college because I live in Colorado, which is a landlocked state.
Right,
and
exactly.
I didn't want to study
whales floating around there.
No, didn't really want to be studying amoebas in Colorado lakes either. So I went a different path.
So have you done scuba diving? Have you dove or anything?
Yes, I have. Yes, I've done a lot more snorkeling than scuba diving, but I am scuba certified and I did quite a bit of that 15 years ago or so. I'd love to get back into it again.
Yeah, me too. I loved it as well. So tell me, before we move on to the 3 questions, what was one of the coolest things, well, the other 3 questions, what was one of the coolest things that you ever saw when you were scuba diving?
Let's see. I would just say even snorkeling, my favorite thing to do when it was allowed in Hawaii was to snorkel with the spinner dolphins and just really be able to connect with their energy. They're very much like horses and they have a really cool energy. They're more playful than horses are, but being able to swim with them and really be close to them and feeling their energy was one of my favorite things by far. And from the scuba diving perspective, I would say either manta rays or some of the sharks that I was able to see, the harmless sharks. So
you love the sharks. I do love the sharks. All right. So let me get into the 3 questions. What conversation do you wish you'd had but didn't?
So this is not business related at all, but it is related to the fact that I am 5 years alcohol free by choice. I was a former gray area drinker. So that is the spectrum that exists between I've never had a drop of alcohol and I'm an alcoholic. And that is the gray area. And so I wish that I would have been able to like tap on the shoulder of myself as a 20-year-old and say, hey, maybe we should kind of stop being a college kid, and maybe we should stop worrying about being the life of the party and also just fitting in with our friends. And we should start focusing on what it is that is really most important to us and not numbing to the things that are going on in life. That is definitely what I wish I would have done.
Wow. All right. Well, that was a little profound. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that's a big deal, though. Those kinds of conversations with yourself. Thank you.
And that's the most important conversations as far as I'm concerned. I'm not someone who looks up to heroes or looks up to people who've done things before me. That's not who I am. It's about the lessons that I'm learning as I'm growing personally and professionally.
Right.
Every year.
Those lessons come with a cost. Everything costs, everything. Second question. Gosh, I'm stumbling, but bear with me. All right. What do you love about what you do?
I love a lot and almost everything about what I do, but what I love most and what I am, the reason why I started the Dames is because I am a natural connector. And I absolutely love, I was just on a call with a woman in Phoenix who I was hearing about her story and hearing about where she comes from and what she does, and immediately thinking, oh, here's 7 people I need to connect you with, because they will be incredible for you to mastermind with. They'll be incredible for you to just have in your community so that you can talk to each other, you can ask each other questions, you can live better lives together. And, here are some people who could be great for you to build cross promotion and cross referral strategies with. So being a connector is my favorite thing, and watching people connect, like either being in a physical room and watching people connect that way, or watching people connect online is probably my favorite aspect.
Why do you think that is? What do we get from connecting people?
Well, I would say for me, in my top 5 strengths through StrengthsFinder is connectedness, and I see connections everywhere. So it's not just connections of people, it's connections of information, it's synapses, I see things. I love philosophizing. I love hearing about different concepts or studying consciousness or studying the effects of how the brain works and being able to see what connection does. And to me, connection is everything. It shows us the interweb of everything that we are.
Right.
With energy, everything that we are with other organisms, everything that we are with other people. And life isn't really life without connection. So it's a fundamental that we have. But for me, it's just a very natural thing to see in everything. And it lights me up and fills me up to no end.
So it's purpose.
It's my purpose, for sure.
Right.
And beneath that is love. And love is what connects all of us. So, for me, connection is a conduit for love.
Gotcha. Well, that's interesting. Connection is a conduit for love. That's a tweetable, if I ever heard one.
That's right. It is. Yeah. And for me, if I don't get to that point with someone of saying, I love you, it's probably not a very deep connection, because I do get to that point of love with a lot of people. And it's because we've developed such a wonderful connection that is the natural byproduct.
Right. The connection, I think good connection, any connection can be layered. It doesn't all have to be about love, because we're still getting and receiving and giving, regardless of how deep the connection. So there's a lot to unpack here. All right. Well, thank you. Okay.
Well, and I think for me, one of my top values is love. And I've had lots of discussions with people about how love is present in business and is best if it's present in business.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So yes, I think it is possible. And love, in other languages, there are many other words for love. Right. In English, we just have one.
Agreed. And so that, the question of what do you love about what you do? I know the word love gets thrown around a lot. Like, I would love to meet with you. I would love to hear what you have to say. I would love to connect you with this person. So really the question is, what does love mean? And then if we kind of base it down or dig down or drill down, like, love is connection.
Love is everything. In my opinion, love is everything. It's at the foundation of everything too. It's even beneath hurt. It's beneath pain, it's beneath fighting, it's beneath war, it's beneath everything. It's underneath everything.
So as a baby actor in school, that was one of the things that we were taught to, because, as a baby actor, you just want to give all the emotion, you just want to do all of this. And I very clearly remember our teachers saying, where is the love? And even in a scene that's fraught with anger and rage, where is the love? So it's about absence of love. It's about, delegation of love. It's all of those things. So I think you're absolutely on the nose with love is everything. So thank you so much for that. All right, third and final question. What communication advice do you live by?
I would say my own advice, but what that is connecting deeply with your own intuition. And that is the best way to then learn how to communicate with yourself, to develop deep self-love, and then be able to very effectively communicate outwards. I think a lot of people, we are not taught, especially in the United States, we're not taught about self-love, and we're not taught about how to develop a deep connection and deep communication with yourself, and how to listen to your own inner healer and your own inner voice. And that comes to us through our intuition. And we don't even develop that in some cases ever in our lifetime, but in many of us until we're adults, until we're, fully grown. So it's really about developing that internal connection with you and your own internal healer, and that internal voice that's your own GPS, so that you can then be in alignment with yourself. And if you're truly in alignment with yourself and with love at the cornerstone or at the base, then your communication outward with everyone else is going to be genuine. It's going to be meaningful, and it's going to be clear. I think that's also part of communication that gets missed, is that there's not clarity because people have not taken the time to go deep and discover within, and to really get clear on what it is that they are wanting and what it is that they are here for, to put out into the world, what that purpose is that you spoke about. They're not clear on that. So they're kind of wishy-washy on just about everything, especially messaging. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think that we throw words out, far too many words, in the hopes that someone somewhere will glean some crumb of understanding and give us love.
Which is a fundamental break in communication too, is when we realize that no one will ever understand us fully. No one will ever hear us fully. No one ever will see us fully the way we want to be understood, seen, or heard, because that's all in our own construction. And you can never give that to me. I can only give it to myself.
Right.
You can never give me being seen the way that I want to be seen, or being heard the way I want to be heard, or being fully understood, because I've got my own beliefs here.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Heart, gut, and mind.
I am not the person that you think I am.
Never.
Ever. Right. Exactly. So there's so much to unpack about language. I love communication, but right now I'm going to completely flip the script, and I'm going to go back to French.
Yes.
So in your 5 facts, you said that you love everything French, and so I happen to love baguettes. I don't know if you too are a baguette lover. Okay.
Yes, I am definitely a baguette lover.
Awesome.
I am gluten-free here in the States, but when I go back to France, I eat everything, because the quality of all of the ingredients that's put into the food, the lack of pesticides, the lack of GMO foods, really creates a whole different situation for my digestive system. So I'm able to eat it and not have issues. So I really love going and eating the heck out of all baguettes. I've not met too many baguettes I didn't love in France. Here in the States, it's a little different. There, we don't necessarily know how to make good baguettes, but when it's just so crispy on the outside and nice and like dense on the inside, that's my favorite kind. A little bit of a paysan.
I feel like we could go deep on bread too.
We could. Yeah. And normally I would say I'm not normally deep on bread talk, because like I said, most of my life I don't eat it. But when I go to France, I eat the heck out of it.
Wow. Well, Meghann, again, thank you so much for spending time with me. This has been a very interesting and illuminating conversation.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Awesome. I love it too. I love when I get to talk, when we get to speak about things that aren't just the normal everyday business talk. It's a breath of fresh air. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you and take care.